Oh, I didn't know.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, Mr. Queen.
Yeah, Femi, yeah. I've joined Abby. You can see me.
Yes, yes. Yeah, so we already did that. So it's just to test your audio, but I think it's fine. So just start soon.
Oh, sorry? Oh, okay.
No, yeah. Yes, because it's sounding in the webinar, yeah. All right, yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk Level 1 and 2 from New Frontiers Learning Center Impact Series. My name is Ayo Akinrotimi, and I will be your host tonight, and I'm excited to have you here. But before I continue, please confirm that you can both hear and see me. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Am I audible? Am I visible? Okay, Freedom says yes. Thank you, Freedom. Need two more persons to confirm, then I can move on. I had just one. Is everyone good? Okay, I think I have two now. Reggie says yes. I can hear you. All right, good. So welcome tonight once again, and we're excited to have every one of you here. And together with me tonight are two esteemed people, candidates of New Frontier of the CFA program, of course via the New Frontiers Learning Center, and they are going to walk us through in very practical terms how to be best prepared for the CFA Level 2 program and Level 1 program as well, right? For those who are just preparing to join in. We're going to share tips on how you are best prepared for this exam, best positioned for these exams, and how they've been able to surmount the various obstacles they met along the way, right? And to do that with me tonight is Okpeyemi and Ayodeji. So Ayodeji, Okpeyemi, if you can please turn on your videos and microphones, and let's say good evening to our folks tonight.
Okay, hi, good evening.
Hello, Ayodeji, good evening.
Good evening, Ayokme.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. You're welcome. Thank you very much for joining us tonight and for finding time for us. So I'll just take their profile briefly so we can get started. So Okweyemi Oladejo is a leading financial services professional with experience covering securities trading, portfolio management, excuse me, accounting/financial control, insurance, pension funds administration. He's an alumnus of the University of Lagos, where he graduated in the Department of Actuarial Science and Insurance with a second-class upper degree. He holds an MBA from financial studies from the University of Nottingham Business School, Nottinghamshire in United Kingdom. He is an associate member of the Chartered Insurance Institute, the CII, the Nigerian Council of Registered Insurance Brokers, NCRIB. He's a fellow of both the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers and the Association of Certified Chartered Accountants, ACCA. He's an authorized trader on the floor of the Nigerian Exchange Limited, NGX, and he co-founded Bishop and Knight Insurance Brokers Limited. He's a founding director and currently the CEO at Mountain Investment and Securities Limited, one of the leading stockbroking insurance institutions. Mr. Kwemi Oladejo, we are excited to have you. And just before I move on, he says he's passionate about financial literacy, football, chess, and is currently a karate brown belt. Mr. Kwemi, I'm sure you're going to tell us a little about that tonight, right? That's the part that really gets my interest. Not all these other ones. So how do you find time to do that with this exam and with all this agreement that you already have? Please come and tell us this night, right? And please, you haven't brought that. I mean, I didn't even know. How would I have known? Please bring your black belt, wear your black belt to school tomorrow. But you're very much welcome. I'm excited to have you. Thank you for agreeing to do this with us. Yeah. Okay, so I'll take Ayodeji's profile, then we get into it quickly. So Ayodeji Ayola, a first-class graduate of biochemistry from Landmark University, and a CFA Level 2 candidate with the CFA Institute. She's currently with the Sterling Alternative Finance, and she works as a corporate and deal advisory analyst with Sterling Alternative Finance as right now. Before now, she was a credit risk analyst with Sterling Alternative Finance and a depot manager with Ben Bob Enterprise Coca-Cola. Welcome, Ayodeji. We're excited to have you tonight. So you're welcome.
Thank you.
Good. Okay, so level 1 and level 2. Last week we had a conversation about level 3. These levels are different, so our focus today is going to be equally different as well. So I'll be asking you a few questions to guide our conversations. And for the audience, there will be time for questions, but please feel free to drop your questions in the chat at any point in time during the course of this program. I'm sure if you know someone who ought to be here and isn't here, please send the link to them immediately and let them join. We're also live on YouTube. If you search on youtube.com, New Frontiers Learning Center, you'll find us live there as we speak. So let's get on this immediately. So welcome once again, Ayodeji and Okpayemi. We're excited to have you. Let me start like this. So why did you opt for a career in finance? So let me start with Okpayemi. Why did you opt for a career in finance? Of everything in this world, I mean, why finance for you?
Okay, thank you very much. For me, actually, I wanted to study medicine while I was in secondary, so I was more like a science student, and but it was I also took some commercial courses, studied subjects along the line. So unfortunately, I didn't, after I finished my secondary school, then apparently I didn't make a particular subject I needed to make to study medicine. So I was supposed to go and retake that particular subject. But apparently, along the line, I got a kind of advice from my dad, so who is actually an economist. So he was like, he told me about, someone I really respect. Actually, I really respect. I actually respect a lot because of his influence, on me and all that. So, and I felt, this man's actually a mentor and all that. So when he told me about economics, about finance, and I really liked the kind of things he was doing, and because he was actually a top shot at the stock exchange then in those days. So I just felt, why can't I just give business a chance, business, finance, anything that has to do with finance? I actually liked that business anyway. And I won't lie to you, I will not say it's actually a bad decision. It's not a bad decision, I mean, for the benefit of hindsight, if you look at what doctors are currently facing in Nigeria today. So I mean, I don't mean to, to be offensive by that statement, but really, that's actually why so when I now went back to do my jam and all that, so I just switched to business admin, that's faculty of business admin. So when I now opted for, I went to the Department of Actuarial Science and Insurance at UNILAG. And that was how my journey started in finance.
Interesting. Thank you very much. That's a pretty good one. Strong parental influence. I'm an advocate of that charity begins at home. I'm an advocate of how the greatest influence a person should possess should happen in his home, right? We have a lot of successful, quote unquote, people in the world today, successful people in the world today, whose story at home is an entirely different thing. So, I mean, if you had influence and guidance from home, good, because how many adults, if you ask, can really tell you today? I mean, how many adults your age will say that their influence came from their parents? If you understand what I'm saying. So it's a really, really good one. Thank you very much for that. So Ayodeji, you are BSc Biochemistry, and you probably were on your way to medicine.
Definitely.
I can yes. So tell me this detour, how?
So for me, I'll just say like me, I just stumbled into finance. It's not, I never had a plan of doing finance. So I graduated from biochemistry. I was at home for a while. I worked part-time. I think I worked part-time in a depot as a part-time accountant and manager. That was like my first introduction to finance. And then I was just stumbling my way through it because like from science to debit credit. Then I now got like my first corporate job in Sterling Alternative Finance. So luckily for me, during my graduate training, like the first year, we had the opportunity of going through like a rotation. So that's where I found myself in investment. And I don't know, it started becoming like interesting. The people I was meeting, working with, like the concepts and everything. I was not like, this is where like I want to be. So that's how I just started finance.
Excellent. Okay, so and that's you coming from a first class in biochemistry.
Biochemistry, yeah.
To finance. So I mean, I remember talking to the CEO of CarryWise a few weeks ago. We hosted him on this same program, and he had said that it wasn't so planned as it were. His journey as well. So even though he is an economics graduate. He was an economics graduate, but the people he met, the people he had worked with had influenced his journey as well. So it's good. I like what I'm hearing, and this is good for somebody who says, you hear people cry about this a lot and say, my background was not in finance. Will I be able to this exam? I mean, just before we opened up to be live, Ayodeji was telling me at the background that she believes that people who come in without a finance background are at an advantage while writing the CFA program. And a mindset advantage, which is everything actually, because coming into a program like this with a finance background can make you assume that you know what FRA or what FSA is about. I mean, that you've done statistics, you assume that you understand quantitative methods. You're a first-class graduate of economics, you might just assume that you understand what economics is in the CFA curriculum. And like I always say humorously after somebody shared it, the CFA program is the only program in the world where even after you have gotten a PhD in finance or in any field, you start from level 1. There are no exemptions, right? So there is a certain way you must enter into this program. We have somebody on our faculty who is a medical doctor, who is by practice. He got into the medicine you were going to try to get to. He finished as a doctor.
Wow.
It takes a program. We had a teaching, we're in partnership with FMDA to train professionals for fixed income. I don't know if you saw those ads on LinkedIn a few weeks ago. It was 75% the facilitator for that class, and he was applying his medicine and surgery, dissecting, the CFA module, helping professionals out there. you understand. So it's really good, and this gives a lot of hope to people who think that they need to be a certain way or needed to have understood certain things before they come into the CFA program. So I look forward to a very exciting night. So let me ask you, Ayode, tell me about level one. Tell me what you would say your biggest memories were for level one. What stood out for you in during your preparation for level one through the exams?
Okay. So is it that when it comes to like the material or generally?
Everything. The level
Okay,
one
so for
journey.
me, the
Yeah,
level
your highest points. Yeah.
okay, I think for me, my level one, the highest point I had was at work. I was just basically invited for a meeting on, that was fixed income. So luckily for me, I had done the reading. That was like mortgage-backed security. I was just invited for a meeting just because I was writing the CFA. And luckily for me, I did not fold my hands. So I think that was like the highest point that I was like, thank God I've done this reading. Unless, what will I say? Because you're like, you are currently doing the CFA exam. You would have touched mortgage-backed security because we're trying to like bring out a new product. And not like, come into the meeting. I was like, thank God I've done that reading. So I think that was like my highest point. That I'm like, I've not even written my level one yet, and I'm already reaping some side benefits and everything.
Yeah, excellent.
Then I think going through the material for me, because like, I don't know, for me, I think I just knew about CFA 2021 and I opted to write for it 2020 because I was coming from like a total different background. So it was even like my work mentor that told me about it. So it was a lot of Google search, I was just seeing a lot of things that I did not even see before. So like, and juggling it with work and everything. Then I think one of my lowest points would have been before the exam, because like I'd already prepared for the exam. Then I was now sick on the exam day. And that would have been my lowest point, because I was like, God, please, I cannot just say I will not write this exam after everything. But for me, the classes really helped me because I was like, a lot of things were new to me. Because despite because I started working in investments 2022, that's when I started my CFA. So I was learning on the job, but like a lot of things were new to me. So I was juggling the CFA material, classes, there a lot of Google search.
Excellent. Yeah. And I'm personally excited for you. I remember we interacted a number of times.
Yeah.
And the fact that this is coming to you, you have made this decision at the beginning of your investment career. You see, because many people don't make this decision like that. So yes, you're learning on the job, you're trying to catch up via an exam, and you're trying to combine both, right? First of all, it's scary for a lot of people. I mean, these are people who have read in school, graduated first class, and they've told themselves, after I leave this place, and I drop this pen, even a signboard, I'm not going to read again. They now come, you're now telling them about a one CFA program, not just any kind of program. The volume, the material, the content, and all that. And it's exciting that you talked about Google. It's interesting how much information is out there in the world, combined with classes, and all that. So thank you very much. So, Mr. Okoyemi, let's come to you. So you are level 1 and level 2 passed, and very soon level 3 passed, because I know you're going to pass level 3, and I'm bringing you back to come and speak to my next level 3 guys on this level 3 thing. This is it. By then you will share your story that I'm not going to share now. Right? I know you have some story already, right? But it will be more appropriate to share it then, and it's going to be very, very soon, definitely. So but for now, tell us about level 1. Tell us about level 2. What were the highest points for you? And you will be able to bring perspective, because I think each level is a different ballgame. Each level is a different conversation entirely. There's a way you can do in level 1 that you can't do in level 2, right? So I'm hoping that you can please shed some light on that tonight. Your highest points. What are your highest points? What are the biggest memories for you? Level 1 and level 2.
Okay, thank you very much. So level one for me was quite challenging for me because I've actually known about the CFA program while I was doing my master's then in the UK. So some of these other guys, have been telling me about the CFA program there. That was quite some time ago. So, but I didn't want to start level one then because I heard, the stories that comes when I was hearing about CFA was not really encouraging, honest. even though at that time I had already, I'm concerned with finance and all that. And I was having a master's in finance, but I was not comfortable with it because kind of things these guys were telling me about it. And these guys are smart guys, I actually have a friend I have this friend from Uzbekistan, the former Soviet Union, this former Soviet Union Republic, Uzbekistan. Very smart guy, so he's worked in London, he's working, and we talked about it, and I said, okay, that's something that I would probably also like to try after my MBA program. So I'm coming back to Nigeria then, but I knew then apparently it was like CFA was not being offered in Nigeria. You have to travel, to Dubai or US or anywhere like that outside Nigeria. And when I got back, I just said I wouldn't, because of the fear. I said, there's this loss of passion bias, but for those that are doing play now, we know that you tend to remember your losses more than your gains. So I said, for me, I'd rather not do this CFA now. Because for me to travel to the UK, spend money on travel, spend money on accommodation, and I will not feel and I'll lose my money and I'll lose money for the exam. No, I won't do it. Let me just wait. Let me wait for them to bring it to
I'm sure Ayodele can't even relate with this story. She's writing in Nigeria, right? So she can't understand. What year was this? So what year was this?
Actually, it was 2019.
Oh, really? I mean,
yeah, but what I'm saying is that actually I've known about all this. That's the reason why it took me so long to start CFA.
Okay.
I'm not a CFA all along, but I didn't do it because of this. I was scared of, I said, no, I'd rather wait for it to come to Nigeria. Then at least I know that even if the worst happens, I will save my transportation money and I will not lose. Do you understand? Because then people that do CFA then will probably have their vacation. I think it was in June and December then. So for most people, it was during June and December diet, so they have their vacation during that period. And I'm saying, I'll go for vacation in the UK. I'm now going and do CFA everywhere. And I'll have a bad vacation. No. Let me go wait in Nigeria and do something like that. So unfortunately, I didn't get to know that started CFA actually. So I think they've done the first diet. So I just stumbled across. I think I was reading a paper. I just CFA program. So because then I didn't really know what was happening. So I said, I must do the second diet. I must do this one. So that's how I just registered for the program. Then I had not started using New Frontiers. So I look up to some guys somewhere, some other places like that. I started studying, and for me, because of the fear, I must have said that, I'll say that I actually put in a lot of effort, as in it was serious studying for me. Because I just felt that, let me give it all it takes now. At least let me just try. Now that I'm doing in Nigeria, at least I'm saying something. So I was doing a lot of studying, although I love to read anyway, but the CFA program actually now was another perspective entirely altogether for me. So I was, I read a lot, and some of the programs, some of the courses like derivatives, initially were very strange to me, derivatives and were strange to me.
Almighty derivatives, right?
Yeah, it was strange to me. As a fact, at some point, luckily for me, they were not kind of super so at some point I had to just say, I would just read this thing, maybe like a week to the exam, something like that. I wasn't finding it funny. So, but thank God, I was able to just overcome it eventually after my first attempt.
So that's level one. So how about level two? What are your biggest memories from level two?
So for level two, level 2 was, level 2 for me, it was actually during the COVID time. At least, there was a COVID time then for me, the first one I did. It wasn't too good, right? So, because of they had postponed the exams so many times. There were so many things following COVID then, apparently, which was demoralizing for me, apparently. So, I lost team along the line. So the first attempt at level 2 wasn't so, but upon joining, coming to New Frontiers, then I was able to put more effort to it, and because I actually had a background in finance, so courses like FRA, corporate finance, didn't really give me much problem apparently. So but the content was a bit different because in level 1 it was more of application of concepts, right? As in, you don't really need much. Once you understand the concepts, you can apply it and just with at least for those of us that actually have some financial, some background. So it wasn't really that, for some of the courses, apart from the courses like alternative investment and derivatives. But for level 2, because level 2 is more of vignette set questions. So you need to read the questions. At times you might even get lost in reading the question because the question might be so much, and the details, the things you are trying to answer will be modeled up somewhere there. So you need to take the time, And so it was something that I really found challenging, But with constant practice there with the curriculum, I think with time I was able to also get used to that too. Okay. So so that's how I did my level 2.
Thank you very much. So it was challenging at some point due to the COVID program. I think that was the time when it was like a lot of changes were happening at the same time. So it was transitioning from paper-based to CBT at that time. There were all kinds of changes. The exams, the way the exams used to be had changed as well. The format, then a number of questions and all those things. So because you have fewer questions now, you have more points allotted to each question. So you can't afford to miss one, if you understand what I'm saying, because the questions are fewer now, right? Then there were changes around how the dates were moved until the country was certified clean, for exams to happen, social distancing and all that. People were coping with family issues, family members, friends who were battling COVID at the time and all kinds of things. So I truly understand what you're saying. So it was a tough time, but then, like you said, you picked yourself up and constant practice, and we're going to get into that in a moment, right? Because at this point now is where I want to spend the most time. The question I want to ask now, and it's so you are taking the level 1 exams, Ayodeji, and Opeyemi, you are taking level 1 and 2, and you have succeeded. Now, what were the optimal strategies for you? Now, I understand that when it comes to optimal strategies, there is a role that people's personality or individuality play. There is a role that it plays. But then there are some common grounds. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. There are some common things, like one common thing is you must read. So that's a given, right, across board. So I understand that. So tonight, don't hold back on anything. I want the ones that were specific to you, because there will be people that are just like you, who can actually learn from you. Then, of course, the common grounds as well should come out of that. So let me take you again, Ayodeji, first. So what will you say were the optimal strategies? And don't worry, take enough time, explain for level 1. If you had any struggles, how it was addressed, this is the time to talk about it. But optimal strategies at the end of the day, just to shorten the journey for guys on this call and people who will eventually watch this video when it is uploaded.
Okay, so for me, I'll feel one of the optimal strategy is start preparation as early as you can. Then I feel know your work pattern. So like for me, where I work, I'm usually more busy when I'm working on a transaction, but like when I move to the next transaction, there's a small space. So knowing how your work pattern is, no matter how busy you are, there's a time you are less busy. Capitalize on that time and cover as much as you can. Then for me, I know there are people that like to read in groups. I'm the kind of person that when I'm reading, I read, then maybe like for questions and answers, then we can do in group. Then for me, another thing was that, because like a lot of the materials were new for me. So I feel it's important that after you reading, you revisit. And I feel a lot of mistakes some people did was waiting for the class before they started, because there were some that was like, I'll go along with the class. Like, it's good to go along with the class, but at least start, like, let them be some of the materials that you're not just seeing for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Then also, like, another thing was that, like, for me, I read better at night. So when I was preparing 7, 8 p.m., except Fridays that we have classes, by 8 p.m., I'm already asleep. Then I'm waking up in the night, then read till when I went to work. There another, because a lot of people were able to finish the curriculum. I was not among them. My plan was to finish the curriculum, but I was not among the people that did that. So what I did at one point, I first started with QM, because I feel it's important to start with QM, despite it does not have much weight, but QM is like, is in everywhere, is in derivative, is like everywhere. So I started with QM first, then FRA. Then at one point I was like, I will not finish with this curriculum. So courses like economics, alternative investment, then derivative, because derivative is divided into the calculation and the word part. That calculation part, I just started using, I was attending classes, then I was using Schweizer for that one. Then I feel another thing, you need to have, like, why do you want to write the exam? That's strong one, because I remember I've attended this webinar, and when Joy was saying it, I was not really knowing what she was saying. But when I started, because like honestly, there are some days I'm like, who sent me this thing? I bet they have I beg, is it a do or die affair? So I think you have to have like a strong one that why am I even doing this? Because I know that, like, apart from the money, because me, when I was even doing the exam, at one point I almost gave up, because I was because like for me, I wanted to, like, I was to apply for, I kind of applied for a scholarship, because I was kind of preparing for the exam and looking for accommodation in Lagos. Trying times of my life. So it was that crazy that I was like, I almost moved it. And another thing again, I feel when you are preparing, just prepare, don't move the exam, because like I have a lot of my friends that continue to move, and they will continue, and you just be moving, because you will not be ready until you enter that hall. Then another thing is that when you are reading, you will forget, because I feel people tend to be discouraged. You can even be reading a chapter, and before you read the end, they are forgotten. It's okay. The material is a lot. Though I feel at that point, you don't be discouraged. And for me, like I feel identifying your weak points again. Like nowhere, for me, FRA, because most of all those things they were saying, it was very new to me. So unluckily for me, and unluckily, it was not a heavily weighted course.
Yeah.
So I feel identify your weak points, like where you don't really know, and you know that those places you are going to visit, them. Then another thing that helped me was taking leave. Like this thing, I did taking that time off to prepare. Because for me, I think because after, when you're done with classes, you have already taken classes, you have your materials, you need time to review it and also do a lot of questions. Because I feel that now that I'm praying for level 2, I know it's technical, but like for level 1, it's really a test of concepts. Do I know this? Do I understand this? So like that taking time off that one is like very, very important. So I think those are my major.
Good. I mean, and you go straight into it. So it's really good. So I have them here, and I have practically all the points you have mentioned there, and they are very important. It's what it is. That's what the IDG has said. It's what it is. If you want to pass these exams, these are the strategy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 10 things and all that. So, but usually what I do is, before I continue to acquire me to take his own optimal strategies, which I know some will have overlapped with what Ayodiji had said. Our audience, I need to know that you're following. So you could just type in this chat some of the things that Ayodiji has said. I just need to say about 5 of them, then we'll move on. It's important that that happens so I can know that value is being added. So I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 11, 10, 10 actually, not 11, 10 points here. So guys, let's start. Thank you. Moreni Sweat says she studied in groups and didn't postpone her exams. Thank you. Busaya says know your weak points. Thank you very much, Busaya and Moreni. Eke Cynthia says start preparing early. That's really good. Thank you for that. Start preparing early. I'll take 2 more. I'll be good to go. It means my audience is highly engaged tonight. They're following. That's good. 2 more. I need 2 more at least, then we can continue. Thank you. Folawe Oyatayo says, maximize free periods at work. Maximize free periods. Those free periods you said were in between transactions, right? Is that what
Yes, yes. Like the time you are less busy. And I know
Whenever
like
it
for
is.
all, whenever
It could
it
be other
is,
times. Yes. It could be
milk
other
that
times,
time, milk that time,
Yeah.
can be other time. Then I feel another thing is that because the exam is based on the, like no matter how many materials you use, it's still based on the CFA materials.
Yeah,
So
the
I
curriculum.
know the curriculum. So do the examples. Like for me, I went through, I'll not say I went through the curriculum examples twice. I went through the end of chapters twice. Because no matter whether, like I don't really have time to do the Schweizer mock or everything, but the thing is that the exam is based on, it will be set based on the CFA materials. So I feel people should keep that in mind. It's based on the CFA material. So you don't get over by, okay, watching only videos, doing outside mocks. The important one is the one that's provided, because that's where the exams, that's where the questions will come out from.
Those are the examiners, aren't they?
Those are the examiners, yeah.
Thank you very much for that, Ayodiji. And you could remember any more things, you will still be able to talk. Please, that's why we are here tonight. We want to help as many people as we can. And Mushope survey says, remember your why. Thank you very much. That's to have a strong why. There must be a strong why you are taking this exam. That's what will push you, motivate you. There could be times when you're alone and you think you're giving up. It will push you and help you to succeed. I remember you talked about revisiting what you have heard, starting early, understand your work pattern, know your optimal study time. If you're a daytime person, a nighttime person, find out what works. A strong why. Don't try as much as possible not to postpone your exams. You can forget. It's okay to forget. Just make sure you revisit what you have learned. Identify your weaknesses, solve lots of questions, take leaves, and of course, be friends with the CFA curriculum material. Even if you say you don't want to read the book and you want to use other prep materials, you still want to go back to those examples like she has pointed at the end of chapter questions, which is why at New Frontiers, no reading ends. And I'm sure Ayodiji can confirm this. No reading ends without having gone through the end of chapter questions. If not, the teacher must come back. That's the deal. At the minimum, the reading doesn't end without the end of chapter questions. And I know there have been teachers who have asked for extra times that they just wanted to solve a lot of questions with candidates. That happens all the time. So thank you. If you remember any other thing, feel free after allowing me to come back again. It's fine before I move to the next question. But thank you, optimal strategy. Okay, Moreni says, I didn't get the last point Ayodiji mentioned about study materials. Okay, so she talked about how with the CFA curriculum, you want to ensure that no matter what prep material you've used, you've done at least 2 things with the CFA curriculum. And that's number 1, you've looked at all the examples in the curriculum. The examples is like the examiner telling you, this is how I will solve this question if I were writing the exams, or this is what I expect to see when you're providing a solution to this question in the exams. So that's why the examples are important. And secondly, the end of chapter questions are very, very important. That's how the exams questions actually look like that, like the end of chapter questions, right? So it's important that you do that. Moreni, please confirm that you got that so I can move on to Okwayemi.
Yes, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Moreni. Well done. All right, so Okwayemi, it's your turn. Tell us optimal strategies, level 1, level 2.
Okay. Well, I think some of the things that Grady says, some of the things I'm going to say, I think we must have touched on some of those points too. So, but what is important, either for level 1 or level 2, is that you need to cover the curriculum extensively.
Yes.
You know, and you might have some other materials you're using. For somebody like me, I'm very conservative. I use curriculum every time. I don't want to take any chances. So at least I know that let me just give it my best. So I read the curriculum back to back. So when I try to also solve the end of chapter and questions in the curriculum. So, but coming to class is something very, very advantageous, especially for those of us that's actually very busy at work. You know, if you are, even if you are the kind of person that are still in school or have time, you still need to come to class, because there are certain things that you get to learn in class that by the time you're even going through the curriculum, it's reading will just be a breeze for you. You might not need to spend more time on those things because you must have covered it in class and you have gotten some other perspective of it in class. So it makes it easy. So the curriculum very, very important. Then also, and this one is tied to the class as well. For instance, you might also need to have a group of people that you know that share the kind of, have the same vision with you in terms of serious-minded people, that probably are reading ahead of you in class. So you need to have 1 or 2, 3 friends like that you can also share ideas with, that you can call, that can motivate you. Because at times you might be struggling with 1 or 2 things. You might need to call 1 or 2 people that can just explain to you in their own ways, and you just get it, without wasting much time. That can also be another strategy that we might look at, might consider. So for me, for level 1, I think I must have done close to maybe close to 2,000 questions.
Oof.
Yeah, or more. Yeah. 2,000 questions.
I already think about that. You just went level 1.
Because I needed to go, because honestly, because I was having a reviewing, it was 2,000 questions, and I was because that was the first time I was taking it, I didn't want to take any chances. So the online questions, they were close to 1,800 thereabouts. Yeah. So which I did twice. Then there were some other questions too all over the place. Questions were flying around up and down. I was just try to just give it to me. Then the mock exams, the mock questions too. I did about 8 different mocks, AM and PM.
Excellent.
Because but so because you don't want to take any chances. You don't want to take any chance. At least you do your own bits. For level 2, I had some friends that were studying together. Some of them one of them is even still in class with me. So we would start studying again after we had, start studying again at night. At times from level to 1, we would study, we would answer questions. It really helped for level 2. So you can imagine studying with your friends in the night at level. Somebody like I really want to facilitate. I would set up the system. Everybody would join, and everybody would start answering questions. Especially towards the exams, we solve questions then on level 2. So by the time at some point we didn't need to even go through. We already knew the answer. We're just looking through the end of the EOC. So it was that, but the fact was that because we shared the same vision, we were able to come together and say, let's do this thing. At the end of the day, we're all glad we did, because we came out smiling at the end of the day.
Wow, excellent. Thank you, Mr. Akwem. This is profound. I mean, I'm sure even our age is learning a lot because there is
yes, so
someone says there is chemistry for first degree, there is chemistry for second degree, there is chemistry for PhD, but there's chemistry for Nobel laureate. So you're sounding like a veteran, Mr. Akwem. This is serious. Like, this is serious. It looks to me like you prepared in such a way that it was impossible to fail. And so this thing brings, so let's talk about this. This is just like a detour. It's not part of the question I plan to talk about, but these things you are mentioning, tell me, do you think that the exam makers, exam creators actually had it in mind to build, to sort of do this and make people a certain way? So take, for example, you've talked about community, you've talked extensively about how partnering with folks who are at the same level, right? And are working towards the same goal can collaborate, even at that time of the night. Do you think this is deliberate? Because, I mean, everybody seems to have, so every time we've done this, they seem to have these things that they share. So it's as if the CFA program carries some soft skills along with it, carries some. So it's just the way when I tell someone, I believe that when somebody had gone to school, say for an engineering program for 5 years, an accounting program for 4, or let's even take medicine for 6 or 7 years, I personally believe that the greatest thing that happens, that person brings out of that program, isn't his license to practice as a doctor. I believe that the greatest thing is who he has become. There is a way that an accountant processes information, even in their marriages, even when they are relating with their siblings. There is just something. So it's how, yes, you have gone through school, but school has gone through you. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Or you've gone to a program, but the program has gone through. There's a way CFA charter holders think and behave. There's something it does to you. I mean, so let's talk a bit about that. Did you pick up some skills, or do you think these exam takers have done these things deliberately, that it will be impossible for anybody to pass this exam solo? It's across all levels. It will be impossible for anybody to have gone through this program and not understand the value of the next person, because again, you're going to be dealing with people's money, right? So if you don't have a sense of value for people, why should they even commit their money to you in the first place? I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So do you think that these exam creators have factored all these things into this robust program we call the CFA program? Do you think so? Or if you or maybe you don't think so, but you think it that way, the outcome is the outcome. I mean, let's just talk about that briefly. What do you think? Any of you can go.
Maybe how did you want to go, or should I just continue?
Please, okay, go ahead.
Okay, fine. I think already even at level 3 now, you can't be in the CFA program from level 1 and still be the same person. Honestly, as in something must give. And I'm not just making this up. The program is rigorous. Your social life is going to suffer, right? It's going to suffer extensively. You know, I think it was just recently that it was like a month, 2 months ago, that there's this something that's, I think, what's it called now? TikTok. This is TikTok. Do you know it was just 2 months ago that I downloaded that thing on my phone, and 2 weeks after I uninstalled it again on my phone. 2 weeks after I had to uninstall it on my phone. As in,
I can imagine.
So imagine how, because of this, I just felt, let me just try. Let me see what this thing is all about. It was so, as in, to show you that you don't. That is the height of which you don't even want to do any distraction. Because already some of us are actually working. You have limited time. You see, every program is going to configure your life, shape your life in a way that, in fact, I think those who that design the program also want you to be structured in that manner. honestly, doing the exam management. And it also makes you a better person at the end of the day, because for somebody like me, you now tend to have so many plans, right? So many plans in place, alternative plans, which of course the CFA will teach you as long. So you don't just do things arbitrarily without having a plan B or a plan C. You might even simulate the outcome in your mind. So, okay, fine, is what I expect to achieve. All these things are the things that you indirectly get from the program that now affects your life, even affects your job, makes you a better professional. I remember when I was doing my ACCA program then, because then I was in my ACCA exams. To me, that was the most rigorous exam for me then. But doing the CFA, I discovered that so there can be exams because then on the ACCA program, just attend lectures, and for someone like me, like I was just myself 2 weeks. I might probably not study that much, but I'll attend lectures. Then in like 3 weeks of the exam, I will now crash study, as in block myself in one room and study. Now I'll pass. You can't afford to do that one for CFA. You can't afford to do that for CFA. You can't afford it to do that. You can't.
I hear your Deji saying it's impossible.
You run mad.
You can't do it. Honestly, you can't do it. In fact, you don't want to risk it. Say you want to give yourself 3 weeks to read FRA. Some of the materials are even intimidating. As in, when you see the materials, you say, "Am I going to read this thing? I beg, please, let me just go and watch a video, something like that." So you now have to find a way to say, okay, what is my strategy? Let me start studying as early as possible, as I already said earlier on. Let me try and find what works for me. Let me try and look at materials I'm used to, that I'm accustomed to, and all that. So that's kind of things one will not start doing that can give you that kind of result. When I did my level 2, during the exam, during the exam, maybe because of the way we practice, myself and my friends, you would know in a way that this exam, at least in a way, God forbid, you probably will pass. Because if you're able to do the exams, you were doing the exam and you're not asking yourself, is this even, I'm not sure, you say, so this exam can be this, that, as in you solve, you go back again and you solve and you still get the same answer. As in you have all the luxury of time to solve the same question maybe like 2 or 3 times. Wow. I still have time to review.
Wow. You
understand? So, but it is not just a breeze. It was the core of the hard work you put in place. Because I remember that when I was doing my FRA exam, the FRA part and the fixed income and equity part, I was saying, is this the equity that, as in you do it? Is it the simple? As in, no. Let me finish then. You now go back again. Use another method to solve. Maybe you want to do dividend discount model. You want to know whether a stock is actually on the price. I've done this thing using this particular method. Let me use another method. And you still get the same answer. Then but it goes to portray the point that you are putting in a lot of hard work. That's why you're able to achieve that. You cannot in 2 weeks of you say that I want to graduate this program. I want to just. As a matter of fact, there are so many materials on the CFA anyway in the first place. So sifting through the materials to even use the challenge on its own. So once you have done the material you want to use, just stick to that material and just follow your own plan, and stick to that plan.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I think you were going to say something about it.
Okay, like based on the question, I feel the exam, you need a community, because like me, throughout uni days, read alone, CFA, you need that community, because like when you're going through the questions, even if you're able to like read alone, when you're going through the questions, there's no how. There are some questions that you have read, but you don't know it. So that community, and I feel because like, it's really hard to know another person that is writing, because even in your exam, in your whole department, it can be only you. But I feel New Frontiers was able to give me that community, because even like during my time, after we had read, Like I had someone that we wake each other up by 3 a.m. If I'm asleep, you wake me to read. So like I think how the exam is, but you need that community to to scale through. You even need someone to tell you that this is not on today. You pass the exam. Like that, like someone that is like you can relate that, oh, we are going through this thing together, we're going through work, CFA is on the side, everything. So I feel I don't know how they did it, but I don't think they did it in a way that it's just only you that will be doing it. Like you need that community.
Yeah, I think, and I think that this is probably responsible for the huge for the huge development around finance globally. I mean, take a look at Nigeria, for example. If you look at just Nigeria, the most developed sector in our market before the tech buzz, you know, is finance, right? And again, tech doesn't exist in isolation now. So tech is not tech, as in tech. So tech drives finance. You get what I'm saying? The tech drives agriculture. That's how tech finds its place. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. For example, at New Frontiers, we use tech for a lot of things, and it drives the work that we do. Good. So it's not as if tech stays, you know, and just exists solo like that. So I think that this is the reason for the huge development, you know, in finance. You come up with great products. There is strong collaboration. The industry is stronger. I think the finance industry is actually stronger than most industries, than most sectors in our market and in many other developed parts. I mean, when you're talking about the development of an economy of a country, it's finance now. So
Yeah.
what are we talking about anyway? And then CFA says we are gold standard. When it comes to ethics, we are there. When it comes to professionalism, we are there. If you're dealing with a charter holder, they will know their onions, they know their stuff, and they will be able to protect your investment. So not only is this person smart and intelligent, this person is also ethical and will not do things that would jeopardize your investments or the market, you know, at large. So thank you very much. And I see some questions are already coming in. We'll take these questions, but let me take one more for now, then I'll take a last question. So now, interestingly, you've literally answered the question I was going to ask next. And that's what I found out in this program. So when we set up these programs, we do not set up these programs primarily to sell new frontiers. We set up these programs because we know that there are people out there. I think, for example, there is Gilles on this call. Gilles, shout out to you. Are you able to unmute your microphone and just say hello? Gilles is non-Nigerian. Gilles is from Senegal and is joining our program. And he's there. Hi, Gilles, are you there? You could unmute your microphone at any point and just say hello. So again, there is a way that's not why we set up this program, right? To talk to people and just ask them to join the program. No, that's not the reason. It's to help a lot of people out there, home and abroad, and say, this program is this program, you know, it's important that you're aware of what this program is. I remember attending a charter, was it charter? No, not a charter ceremony. With the CFA Society, I attended, it was a society meeting of charter holders and just members of the society. I think 2 years ago. And I remember where Mr. Akindaodu, at the time, it was 3 years ago or something. He was CEO for Nigeria and Sub-Saharan Africa, Citibank, as at the time. He had talked about how there were several exams in Nigeria, the banking exams, the accounting exams, and all that, and people were rushing at it, but I just knew this wasn't what he needed. Until when the CFA program came, he saw the volume of work, he saw how robust it was, and he felt this is what he should go for. It's pretty interesting how robust that program is. Now, what I want to ask is, even though you've touched it, and this was where I was going, you know, with all I said, that even though we don't set up this program to sell new frontiers primarily, we find out that before you know it, candidates are already talking about new frontiers. People we involve to come and talk, whether it's faculty or candidates, they're already talking about new frontiers. So really, let me ask in a more deliberate manner and say that. So, Ayodeji, would you say there is any value in attending classes? And would you say, what would you say about new frontiers particularly? So is there value in attending classes? That's one part of the question. The other one is, what would you say about new frontiers as per this CFA journey for you?
Okay, I can only speak for myself. So for me,
Okay.
there was value for me because like it's a US exam and we're Nigerian. So like the class had a way of bringing it home. Like some examples, especially when it came to fixed income that were so and derivative that were like out of touch for me. So like because of our faculties, is what they do. Because I think another thing I liked was that most of the courses they were teaching is where they were actually working. So they had practical experiences that they were able to bring it home. So I think that was one of the things that stood out for me. Then also apart from even, I think I already said it, the community, because like we were able to trade notes, trade questions, trade materials, like even prior to me, like before coming to New Frontiers, I did not even, like there are a lot of things I did not know. I did not even know how to use my financial calculator. I was even using like maybe a Calcio calculator itself. I did not even know how to use the calculator. So it was when I came, even like the platform, because I was reading the PDF, but it was when I came that they're like, there's value. Because even now I'm preparing for my level 2, I don't use the PDF. Immediately I paid, I started using the platform. I don't even know how to use the platform before I came. So like these were a lot of like, and this, and then the class again. The advantage was the class. It made it easier to go through the material. Because like before I came for the class, I'd already finished my FRE. But when I was going through the classes, I knew that that first reading I did was because I did not really understand anything I read there. I just went through it for going sake. So the classes have a way of they made it easier for me to go through like the materials. Then how has New Frontiers been instrumental to me? So I feel that apart from the classes, the fact that when our lecturers come, they tell you about their journey. Because like for me, my strategy was like I picked from, okay, what maybe Feintola said or what maybe Ibrahim will say, and I'm like, okay, this works for me. So so my strategy was like those bits and pieces from our lecturers that came, and I was able to make it my own. So I think it was very instrumental. Then the fact that I could reach out to the lecturer, because Mr. Ayo, you know me, I ask plenty questions.
Well, you used all your money.
I use all my money.
If I'm sure if we really
even when
if I
hear that, anytime I'm listening to that recording, I will hear my voice plenty. Because like I don't know anything, so I was just asking. I will ask. It was fixed income that suffered from me because it just felt abstract to me. So he really suffered from me.
Yeah.
So it was very instrumental. And I think there's something Mr. Aya will say, we'll give you all the tools. The only thing we'll not able to do is write the exam, and you guys really kept to that, in my own opinion. You guys really kept to that. So it was very instrumental. The people I met, the fact that the materials, like the classes, anytime I remember was the time I went for my friend's wedding, I was like, I'm missing class, so how will I go through this material? How will I do this thing again?
That was like committing a sin.
Because it just felt weird. And I was like, I beg, I don't go anywhere after my CFA. But for me, it was very instrumental for me.
Thank you very much, Ayodeji. Thank you. So it's interesting. I mean, how I know we do our best to meet with you guys every week, ensure that what's happening, how is exams going, because like we share in the office, myself and my colleagues, we always say that for every single person you see in that place, every single person who walks in and says, I'm coming to write CFA exams, there's a whole lot of their life that they have put on hold to be here, right? And so the last thing they want to grapple with is to come to classes that are not working, or come to sessions where they are not getting value. So we have to be sure that they get value. And we, like I tell teachers, I say, I have a 24-hour feedback system. If anything is wrong, you won't know who, but the students will contact me immediately and we know what to do. We can change jerseys, we can remove jerseys, we can create new jerseys, like, and just so that value is delivered to candidates. Thank you very much, Ayodiji, and that was good to know. So Payemi, over to you. You're a veteran. So what value, you mentioned a bit of it, but again, it would be good to deliberately reiterate what value classes hold. If you think classes provide any value, what value does class produce? Then New Frontier specifically, do you think, how has it helped, how have New Frontiers helped in your journey? It would be good to know.
Yes, thank you very much. I think I earlier pointed out the benefits of attending classes. Very, very important, especially for those of us that are actually, busy at work and have a lot of other commitments. Very, very important. And more importantly, the fact that attending classes at New Frontiers, the faculty to me, I think is a very rich faculty, very rich, very experienced. Those that, at least those that have had contact with, especially in level 3, the founders, I mean, those guys, so the way you can actually even use their own personal experience from where they're working to bring to life certain concepts they're trying to. I was talking to one of my friends recently in class, and we were talking about one of these faculty member that takes us. Let me just mention his name, Nigi, economics and capital market expectation. And she was telling me that this guy comes to class, doesn't come with anything. He will explain a concept with models, with diagrams, with experience, with illustrations, without using any book. I mean, and I'm wondering that, and the way and by the time you now sit down now try to resonate on what you explained, it will be easier for you to get, because he has more or less dimensioned that particular concept to you in so many ways. You can imagine with so many theories, and I'm wondering, this is very interesting. So and imagine a other faculty member doing the same, having the same, their own styles, communicating to students. There was a time we had this, I think it was in lecture 2, so this lecturer was trying to explain, was trying to explain the concept to us in class, and it was saying, maybe I shouldn't use my personal experience. Maybe I just take what one of my I said, no, please. It is that personal experience that I need. Because when I'm in the exam more, that is what will help me to remember.
That's what you remember.
When the person told me, I just, I know that I said, this guy is a smart guy.
Yeah,
so everybody has a way of, their own strategy, their own ways of passing on. The bottom line is that as long as you're able to get the best out of it, understand what message you're passing across. And I believe that New Frontier do a lot of justice in that, Yeah.
Thank you very much. Nonso says Ni is a legend. To be honest, he actually is. He actually is. All right. So thank you very much, Ni and Opayemi and Ayodeji. And tonight, I see a few questions. Folawe Oyatayo says, please, when you mean end of chapter questions and curriculum, are you referring to the CFA Institute materials? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what we're referring to. End of chapter questions, and the examples were referring to the CFA Institute material. That's what is called the curriculum. That's the student balance, the candidate balance. It is curriculum. That's the CFA Institute material. Yeah. Of course, the moment you pay, you get it. And even if you have not registered for exams, if you join New Frontiers, you'll get a copy. We'll get a copy of the curriculum. NSC says, I'm thinking of writing the February 2024 exam. Please, when will classes for this start? Oh, okay. I'll be sharing that in a moment. I'll share that in a moment. So thank you very much, Okwemi and Ayodiji. And just a minute. So at this point is where I do a little bit of a presentation to the people and say the CFA exams and you, right? Just to help people. So let's see. Let me get on that quickly, then we would pick up from there. Do you mind? So this could be a coffee break for you, Ayodeji and Okpeyemi, and you could sit in as well if you want. But I know there are a lot of people from everywhere. All these questions I'm seeing actually will be addressed in that session. So I'll come back to you in about 10 minutes. Thank you. All right. So your questions can keep coming, but let's take these, guys. One more time. At this point, I'm going to ask if you can see my screen. Just a minute. Please confirm that you can see my screen. Can you please? Anybody unmute your microphone, say, I can see your screen. Anybody, can you see? Okay. Can you see my screen still? Everybody? Okay, good.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you
can
for
see
allowing.
your screen.
Thank you, Ayodeji. Okay, good. So, okay, so welcome. And we I just had, sorry, just a minute. Okay, good. So this is the agenda. We've talked about the interview. Now we're talking about new frontiers. After talking about new frontiers, then we'll take your questions, all your questions, where you can unmute your microphone and conclusion. It's actually about the CFA program and you. That's the title. So let's go. So I'd like to start with this. So this is Abiodun Agbola. Abiodun Agbola is the group head for derivatives market at the FMDQ Securities Exchange Limited here in Nigeria. He says, I had a background in microbiology and crossing to finance was a lot. New Frontiers Learning gave me that community and helped to really understand the CFA curriculum and make the switch that is required from microbiology to finance. So that's Abiodun's story. Of course, the CFA program is the world's most respected designation for finance and investments. It's administered by the CFA Institute with about 200,000 charter holders globally, and the number in Nigeria and Africa is growing significantly. The earning the charter will require that you pass 3 levels of exams, 36 months of qualifying work experience, and pledging to adhere to the code of ethics and standards of professional conduct. Of course, the exams organized into 3 levels, very robust body of knowledge, and it's tested in a 5-hour exams. Okay, I heard your hand is raised. Okay.
No, I wanted to say that the screen is not moving on my end.
Oh, okay. Up till now.
Yes, it's still on the welcome page.
Yes. Oh, really? Let me stop sharing. Thank you for that. How is it now?
It has moved to the agenda now.
Excellent. Please forgive me. Apparently, the share was paused. Forgive me, please. So I'll take it again. Don't worry. So this is where we are. We've had welcome, taking the interviews. I'm talking about the survey program. Then, of course, question and answers from everybody is what we'll do next now. Then we'll take questions, then we'll conclude, and we'll call it a wrap this evening. So let me do this quickly. So this is Abiodun Agbola, CFA, Group Head, Derivatives Market, FMDQ Securities Exchange Limited. He says, I had a background in microbiology, crossing to finance was a lot. New Frontiers Learning gave me that community and helped to really understand the CFA curriculum and make the switch that is required from microbiology to finance. That's Abiodun Agbola's story. The CFA designation is, of course, clearly the most respected designation for finance and investment globally, administered by the CFA Institute in America, with about 200,000 charter holders growing globally, and the number in Nigeria and Africa growing extensively as well. Ending the charter will require that you pass 3 levels of the exams, level 1, 2, and 3, that you also submitted 36 months of qualifying work experience, and that you pledge to adhere to the code of ethics and the standards of professional conduct. Of course, the exam is in 3 levels and with very robust body of knowledge. The exam formats at level 1, multiple choice questions. At level 2, multiple choice questions, but with vignette support. So there are little episodes and stories written, and you can answer these questions from those episodes, right? That help you answer the questions. Then, of course, the level 3. At level 3, you are doing vignette supported multiple choice questions and vignette supported constructed response questions. So There are episodes, there are vignettes given, you are constructing, you are writing out or typing out your answers in some cases, and then you are doing multiple choice at another point, right? The topic areas, 10 topic areas, mainly ethics, financial statement analysis, quantitative methods, portfolio management and wealth planning, equity, fixed income, corporate issuers, derivatives, economics, alternative investments. Um, of course, tremendous value has been added. We had a session about 3 weeks ago. It's called the CFA program Supercharged, where we talked about the changes that have been added to CFA exams from the professional skills module, where you can now learn Python, financial modeling, and some other skills like that. And the curriculum is now streamlined. And at level 3, you can actually specialize, right, in some areas as well. So it's you can now also you will get a badge for every level. We don't want to wait till level 3 now before we celebrate you. At level 1, at level 2, you get a badge that you can demonstrate to employers on LinkedIn or on any other platform, just to show how much work you've put into this and that you are really committed to your career. And so, like we always say at New Frontiers, there's no better time to be a charter holder than now. I think you should check out that video on youtube.com, www.youtube.com, and search for New Frontiers Learning Center on youtube.com. You'll find those videos there. I think you should do that now before you start your classes. They will give you a lot of background, you'll get a lot of perspective, and it will help. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to us. Our contacts will be shared after now. The exam dates, in level 1, 4 times a year, February, May, August, November, F-Man, February, May, August, November. Level 2, MAN, May, August, and November. And of course, level 3 is February and August, right? Now, New Frontiers. We always say that our story is born out of a compelling desire to help ease the journey of every CFA exam candidate in the world. Nigeria, that's an error. Yes, it started in Nigeria, but now it's to the world. We have students from Hong Kong, we have students from the UK, Canada, America, Egypt. We have students from all over the world, right? Our founders went through this journey with little or no support of any kind. However, they vowed to turn into reality the dream of every CFA candidate, and that's the dream of earning the prestigious CFA charter, irrespective of their backgrounds, finance and non-finance alike. And today, with more than a decade of pursuing this vision, we have experienced significant leaps through the influx of about 3,000 professionals from New Frontiers who are now revolutionaries in various markets of the world. I hear some of our faculty members and founders say that when they go to several places, people meet them and say, hello, I'm so and so, and say, yes, but I don't know you from anywhere. Say, oh, you know me. I was your student at New Frontiers, right? And so clearly, and that happens all the time. Here are founders, Ayokule Ojo CFA, Michael Ayima CFA, Olani Ogunbayo CFA, and Banji Feintola CFA. Here are founders. Now let's move away from here quickly. Why New Frontiers? Why would somebody pick New Frontiers? This is just a few of some of the things that we say that makes New Frontiers unique. The first one that we are always grateful for and excited about is the world-class faculty of leading investment professionals. We have about 13 years now of experience and leadership in this space. We've been doing this for about 13 years now. We have scholarships, faculty prizes, discounts, and special offers because we understand the needs and challenges students have, paying for the exams, FX issues, this and that, all kinds of rates, excuse me. And so we have these discount prices, we have this faculty prize, we have the scholarship that we have in place for students. As a matter of fact, this year we've given out more scholarships than ever in the history of New Frontiers, this year alone, because we understand the peculiarities, excuse me, of how, of what it takes now to write these exams. Of course, assignments, tests, and mock exams to reinforce our classes we have in place. There's a no pass, no pay policy. Of course, terms and conditions do apply. And we have a candidate support program. So for example, because people know what we do in the finance and space, whenever they look for new people to join their team and organizations, excuse me, please, they talk to New Frontiers, right? So we have this role. Could you help us for it? Do you have people who, excuse me, are in your program and you think will be qualified to take this? Of course, we have a mentorship program from level 1. You are assigned to a mentor, and you can always interact with your mentor all through your journey. As soon as you register on New Frontiers, you get assigned to a mentor who helps you, who holds your hand and walks you through the journey. Of course, the impact series we're also doing tonight is part of the way we support our candidates, and many, many more. This is just so much as these slides can take. This is Amir Saleh Shehu, portfolio manager at Lotus Capital, says New Frontiers is the best tuition center for the CFA program. And this is a Google review that is publicly available to be verified. Feel free to verify on Google, New Frontiers Learning Center on Google. It says New Frontiers is the best tuition center for the CFA program in the country. You get to learn under the tutelage of some of the best finance minds in Nigeria, who are all CFA charter holders, presenting you with an awesome mentorship opportunity. New Frontiers provides you with a great networking opportunity with fellow professionals in the industry as well. And additionally, with New Frontiers hybrid lectures, location is not a barrier, as you can always join classes either in person or online with recorded sessions available on demand. New Frontiers is certainly the best decision I have made as a CFA candidate. That's quite a bold statement to make. The good is coming from the student. What program fits you? We have a regular program. We have a quick review program, which is quite intensive, and of course an executive program. These programs run as both live, where you can call into the class, whether virtually, or you can join in the class physically, live virtual, live physical sessions, or self-paced, where the materials are there, the classes have been recorded in video, and you can attend these classes at your own pace. You can pick any option: physical live, virtual live, and of course, self-paced on the virtual manner, in a virtual manner as well. Of course, our regular program runs for 16 weekends, and it's on Friday evenings, 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. Nigerian time. Saturday and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. and public holidays as well. We'll have our faculty shares their lecture notes, mock exams and tests. Hybrid is physical and online. It's same value, whether physical and online. I need someone who had moved from one end of the state to join our program in Lagos, and took a requested for a transfer at work and got it, and got to Lagos and found out that the virtual program was as effective as the physical program, and said, and later told me which they had checked before coming. It's now, then at the time it was a bit challenging for him to now get transferred back to his base, right? But then tremendous value, physical and online, every single time. Community and networking as well is another value that we provide, like Ayodeji and Okoyemi had mentioned today. Of course, our quick review program happens within the space of 1 month. And in this 1 month, what we do is that we have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday public holiday, of course, as well, just like the regular program. But this time around, this one happens on a monthly basis. In just 1 month, rather, you can take the classes every weekend in the month, of Friday, 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m., Saturday and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 6:30 p.m., full weekends. This is for people who say, I can't make 16 weekends, it's impossible, but I can do 4 or 5 weekends in a month just before the exam, and we can take on that. It's physical and hybrid, access to mock exams and the tests, access to class recordings, and of course, community and networking available as well in this program. I'll move away from the executive program because that's not my focus for tonight. Okay, go of time. So if you're planning to join the New Frontiers program, this is where we are right now, where we're taking the regular program for level 3. This is June. The next program will begin in July, right? Can you see July? By July, we'll start on July 1st, actually. Level 1 program and level 2 program will run for 16 weekends till the end of October. End of October, so that folks can take their November exams and their February exams as well. So for candidates interested in joining New Frontiers for level 1 and 2, the November exams in 2023 and the February exams in 2024, this is your program from February. Just a minute. This is your program from July to October. This is your program. And if anybody is saying, oh, I'm going to be extremely busy, I'm for the quick review program, yes, a month before your exams in October, you would have the quick review program for level 1 and 2 from the 1st of October, I believe, till 30th. The program will run at that period, right? So that is this one. I hope you get this. Okay, so these are the ads I was trying to talk about. So at this point, you see, CFA Level 1 and 2 programs, physical and online classes are now available. And the start date is the 1st of July. Someone asked me on the chat. Yes, July 1st, 2023 is when our classes start for level 1 and 2. So if you're thinking of taking the February exams, 2024 or the November exams in 2023, this is your class, level 1 or level 2. Your start date is on 1st of July. Of course, our quick review program for level 3 is going to be on as well on July 1st. This is for those who are taking the level 3 classes right now. For those who want to join the intensive 1-month class for quick review, this is where it is, where you learn quick wins and you get positioned to pass your exams. This is where you learn. Of course, this is another review. Busola Jeje, CFA Portfolio Manager at Kariwa, says, my New Frontiers learning experience was extremely awesome. The CFA journey is super tough, but I had people and a community to go with. The teachers were so awesome, and it was such a lovely experience that I used the center for all 3 levels of my exam. I am really advising you to join New Frontiers Learning today. Again, that's a bold one from Busola Jeje. All right, if you're going to contact us, then this is the way to go. www.newfrontierslearning.com/enroll is the place to contact us on, and somebody will reach out to you. We have one of the most responsive teams in the world, and if you just enroll on that place, they would reach out to you. If you're trying to follow us on LinkedIn, then the handle will be New Frontiers Learning Center. That's what you search for, and you'll find us there. And of course, if you're trying to call us or send us a WhatsApp message, then the persons to talk to will be Obafemi on this number and Mr. Isiaka on this number as well, right? So you can pick up these contacts, and I'm sure Obafemi can drop these details for you on the chat as well, so you can pick it up from there. Follow us on LinkedIn, New Frontiers Learning Center, to be kept abreast. Subscribe to our YouTube page, New Frontiers Learning Center on youtube.com. And of course, enroll today on newfrontierslearning.com. We believe that the exams are already tough, so why complicate the process? Come to New Frontiers and let's ease this journey for you. That's what we know how to do. That's what we've been doing for 13 years. That's what we've done for about 3,000 people that have passed through our system. Your story, yours can be the next success story, being interviewed on this meeting or taking the session or giving a review on Google, on LinkedIn, on verifiable platforms, right? Having been helped to succeed. So guys, that's it for New Frontiers. And I'll now go back to Ayodeji and Okoyemi. Hi, Ayodeji and Okoyemi. So we can take questions. Let me pull up the questions. Okay, so yeah. All right, that's cool. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so let's take your questions. So let's take questions. I am joining, just a minute, please. Let me stop sharing so I can read. Okay, good. So I see, hi, I'm joining the class. Besides says I'm joining the class from UK, which means I'll be joining online. How would I build a community? Absolutely. Physical, virtual students, it's one class, one class. And in that class, you will find all kinds of people that are just like yourself, right? Have a common goal, and you'll be able to connect. As a matter of fact, if you're a virtual student, your voice is louder than physical student. I'm sure Ayodeji and Okoyemi can confirm that to you, because we would hear you louder. The moment you speak, it submerges the voice of everyone. We made special provisions for virtual students to ensure that you get value, right? And it's same value, whether you're there physically or not. So Busayo, I hope we've answered your question. You also say, I'm planning to write the November diet. It's preparing from July. Absolutely. Preparing from July is enough time to prepare. That's why we have a 16 week program. So absolutely good time. Go ahead and get yourself ready for your exams. You just need to immerse yourself, make the most of your time, like Ayodeji and Opemi have said tonight, and from there we'll pick it up. Okay. Okay, somebody says there's going to be a gap from November to January for February candidates. Oh, yes, there would be that gap. And interestingly, those have been the best times for most students. In fact, the trend I see with students right now is that, let's say, take level 1. We run 2 level 1 programs, for example. So we've had students who take January to April classes. And they say, I hope you can hear what I'm saying. This is for you. So you say there's going to be a gap from November to January now for the February candidates. So for candidates who have taken the, what do we call it now? The January to April exams, many of them did it to write May. That's our May and August exams, right? So they take the classes from January to April. Most of the students who have written in May, most of the students who register for those classes prefer to take their exams in August. They like that gap, right? Because it affords you plenty of time. Am I still here? Okay, yeah. So afford you sufficient time to study, to boss your teachers, to work with your community, right? So it's not a disadvantage in any way at all. While we have quite a lot of our students who take the exams, let's say the July to November exams, October classes, and in November they write the exam and they smack and they move on to level 2. There's also some set of students who say that I prefer the February one because it allows me time, right? In fact, there are people who take January to April classes and write in November. And that's possible with New Frontiers because at no additional cost, you have access to the recordings of all your classes, the entire 16 weekends. You have access to it. Nobody will take you off it. The mock exams are there. You can practice at your pace. The classes are there to take, right? So, NSE, I hope that takes your question.
Yes,
right.
yes, it does.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. So, Moreni, you said you have some questions, please. Let's take your questions now. Then, if any other person has a question, please drop in the chat or mute yourself or raise your hand. Use the raise your hand feature now. Okay, so how much it costs to register? Good. Very good question. But then this is always been my answer. We do not say this. We do not disclose our fees on this call. And that's because we found out that the number of people who watch these sessions after are several times over, multiple times over. In fact, in some cases, we've had folks 3 times more than those who are in this session right now, right? And so by the time they are going to be watching, the information will have been stale because the value we've gotten tonight is evergreen information. Do you understand what I'm saying, Folawe? So if you want to know how much our programs cost, it's publicly available information, but we don't share it on these videos because on our impact series, because someone in another 2 years, someone in another 1 year could be watching our video and they come and say, oh, but you said this. No. That's why we stay away from talking about these figures. But it's publicly available information, is in public domain on www.newfrontierslearning.com. Just search for our fees, you will find them there clear, right? Yeah, that's fine. Thank you, Folawe. All right. Any other question from anyone? Okay. Personal. Okay, so someone sent me a personal message saying, okay, just a minute. I will take your question, but let me take this quickly. Okay, Busaya says I've paid for the classes, but I've not gotten confirmation. Okay, that's fine. So it's been noted. I'm sure the team has noted, but the confirmation happens together because we have an influx of, there's a lot of people paying for classes, calling for classes right now, right? So it's important to would be able to attend to them. Absolutely. Okay, so NSA, okay, that's fine. I will send you a private message. That's fine. Since you want, this is a personal request. That's fine. Okay, and of course, you can reach out. Whatever the need is, we'll work out something for you. That's no problem at all. All right. Okay. So, any other questions? Hello, who is speaking? Your network. Okay, I think your network is quite bad. Okay, yes, Folawe, absolutely. You have several breaks. So, okay, is someone speaking? I'll take a question, Folawe. Someone is struggling to speak. I don't know who that is, but that must be Moreni. Okay, so are you able to chat? Maybe you should chat because we're struggling to hear. I think it's better that you chat. I think you just drop a chat in the chat section. We'll pick it up. So Folawe says the 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. weekend class is a break in between. Absolutely. There are several breaks. You see the way your Deji is smiling. It doesn't work like that. So every 2 hours, there is a 15-minute break. Am I correct? Is it every 2 hours or every 4 hours now? Unmute your microphone.
No, every 2 hours, 15 minutes break. Then we have like a major break after 4
There's a
hours
major
for like
lunch
an
break.
hour. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have breaks, 15-minute coffee breaks in between and bathroom breaks and all that. Then you also have what do you call it now? A major lunch break of 1 hour, right? So it's fine, we understand. So when you sum that up, that comes to like 2 hours of break time. So I think that is pretty good. Yeah, thanks for asking, for Larry. That's cool. So, all right, is anyone have a question? Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, if I'm not getting any other question, if there's any question, we'll take it. But if there are, okay, Folawe says one more. Okay, go ahead, please. Okay. Just a minute. Taking something from here. Okay. Is our question up? Okay. Is our question up now? Not yet. Okay. So while we wait for the question, okay, it says, how about teaching students when there's time difference like 6 hours? Oh, yes, yes. So we have students from all over the world, right? And that's why we have a learning management system that works. What you will need to do is to find out the timing for the classes, right? With our own, with the Nigerian class. What happens is there must be some time that overlap. You are not going to be off entirely. You get what I'm saying? So check out for the time that overlaps and see what you are able to attend. But then you will not miss any session because it is sitting on that LMS. And even after your program, you still have access to it till after your exams, right? You have access to those videos. And then there is one thing that makes the difference that I want to share with you today. It's that you can buzz faculty at any given time with questions, with concerns about what they have taught, right? And you will be able to, they will give you explanations, live explanations. I know other materials, other prep providers that do this charge you for one-on-one consultation. We don't do that at New Frontiers. In fact, when I talked to a student and I said, have you started reading? They say yes. And I say, have you reached out to faculty for anything? And they say no. Then I tell them, you haven't started studying. That's my conclusion. That's what I always tell them. I'm sure someone like Ayodeji will confirm that to you. I always say that. You must reach out to them. There's just so much you can do within even the, I think we spend about 16, 18 hours every weekend in class, right? Yes. Now there's just so much you can even do within those hours. So if you really want it, it's important that you reach out to faculty, and faculty will give you their contacts. You'll be able to reach out to anybody. On the group, you just ask, please, can I have the derivatives teacher's number? You are in that community, so you don't have anything to lose. You have community, you have faculty access, you have the videos recorded, and you will be able to attend some live sessions as well, right? I hope that helps for Lawe. Yeah, all right. We've had, I mean, I know of there's a candidate we've had who has level 1, level 2, level 3 back to back has passed at one sitting in our program right now. And her voice is the loudest in her class. And she's virtual, right? So it's, you do not have anything to worry about, to be honest. Okay. So, um, so okay, I think that's pretty much what we need. Okay, any other question? Someone says, is it every female that applies for the women's scholarship that gets it? I mean, I'm sure you know that answer, right? So, I mean, you have to tell them why. Ayodeji, what do you think? You are a lady.
So yes, so I applied for it at one point. I did not get it. Your wife has to be strong. As your wife for CFA is strong, your wife for scholarship has to be strong.
As well, exactly. And I'm sure they give out thousands every year. Thousands every year. One of someone close told me about how he got the scholarship. Someone from your class got the scholarship for his for his own level right now. So, all right. Yeah. So Moreni, we're good, right? Yes, one of his women's scholarship. Yes, yeah. So there are several scholarships. Several. We have a post on LinkedIn. If you follow us, New Frontiers Learning Center on LinkedIn, on easier ways to fund your CFA education. I think that's what we've called it. There are about is Obafemi still on this call? Obafemi, there are about how many ways now? Sure, Obafemi will confirm to you. There are several ways, and a lot of people don't know about it. It's there on LinkedIn. Several ways you can fund your CFA tuition. Several. Just go on New Frontiers Learning Center on LinkedIn and you would be able to find it. Okay, so someone says, if no to my first question, that's to the women's scholarship. Please, can you give some tips on how to obtain the women's scholarship as a first timer? Okay, so what you will do is, because of our robust network, we can get somebody who had done it before, guide you, provide guidance. So what you will do after this call is to reach out to Obafemi. We'll just drop his contact. I shared his contact just now, and see if we can help you, connect you. So I'll just drop to volunteers in the meeting. Just a minute, yeah. So, yeah, so you can call Obafemi. Oh, sorry, I had copied someone's name as well. Please just accept it. Okay, let me just delete. Was right. Control V. All right. Oh, yeah, so that's it. That's the client engagement officer for New Frontiers Learning Center. And it will give you everything you need. Okay. I don't think I have any other question. I don't think we have any other question. I think we can begin to call it an evening, and I think tremendous value has been added to our audience tonight. So, parting words, Ayodeji. What would be your parting words to someone you meet who says, please help me, I am taking the CFA Level 1 exams?
Okay, so my parting words would be like, give it your all. It's really not an exam you want to do twice. So give it your all. Like, there's something Joy said to me, and she said that muster all the courage you can muster and write it once. Because if you are writing more than once, the time you prepare, just give it your all. If you have not started preparing, start today. So that was what I would say, start today. And the truth is the exam is daunting, but don't give up. Find ways to motivate yourself. So like me, I just put scriptures on my wall. So find ways to motivate yourself. You forget the material, that's okay. And I don't think, and another important thing, it's not an exam of intelligence. That's, I think for me, is your diligence, putting in the hours. There are people that are way more intelligent, there are geniuses that might still fail. Put in the work. It's not using an exam that you cannot crash. Put in the work, then just for me, I do my best and I leave the rest to God. Because the thing is that you don't want to look back and say, I would have. Do everything that when you look back, you know that I gave it my best, and that's it.
Thank you very much, Ayodeji. So Ayodeji has said in summary, give it your best. No, she didn't say so. He says give it your all. There's a difference between giving your best and giving your all. With your all, you don't worry about any other thing. You just know there was nothing else I could have done, right? To pass these exams. So that's what you want to give it your all and trust God, right, to help you. Thank you, Ayodeji. That was great. Succinct. So stop with me. I'll take you now. Your parting words.
Okay, yes. Also from a religious perspective too, you also need to be very close to God. You know, you have to pray as if work is not enough and work as if prayer is not enough. So yes, you need to do that. Very, very important. You know.
Your energy is shaking her head. It's like you can't write these exams without God.
That's very important. Very important because the exam is not like I agree with her because you know it's more strategy, more like you know it's more 90% strategy and more like 10% in other aspects. So
thank you.
So you need God's guidance on that perspective. You also need to, you know, you have to pay a price, right, to win the prize, like you said.
Thank you.
And so there's a prize with the C and there's a prize with the Z. So the price you have to pay, you just have to pay that price, you know, and it comes without sacrifices. You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry because by the time you now pass, all those sacrifices you have made, you just get pass. You will not even remember those weekends that you have forgone, those parties and those, you know, social outings and all those engagements. You forget everything. You always have time.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I mean, there is time for everything, clearly, time for everything. And that time was when you understand seasons that you are in, you will understand what you need to do. There is a planting season and there is a harvesting season. If you're in planting season and you're acting as if you should be harvesting, you will clearly have a problem. And if you're planting when you should be harvesting, you will definitely be in bigger problems as well. So thank you very much. But before
to add to that, okay, were you going to say something?
Go ahead, please.
I was going to talk about my karate program. It's been suffering because of this year.
What did you say?
My karate has been suffering because of this CFA program.
Oh,
me for CFA, I think because I used to like watch football, so I had to choose football or movies. Now I don't remember since I started CFA, I've not watched a full Chelsea match. So like you have to give up something. I had to give up football because I'm like 90 minutes. I cannot give that 90 minutes to be watching match.
Well, forgive me. I don't watch football too, but if we find out now, it's not as if you have missed anything because I've not been hearing your club name.
They've had a bad season, so I was happy to let go.
Are you a fan of the same club? It looks like
we almost won the league apparently. We almost won the league. I'm an Arsenal diehard fan. I'm a gunner.
Excellent.
Yeah, so but you know, just like what you said, I can't remember how many Arsenal matches I watched in the last, in fact, the whole season, probably maybe one or even like half. I can't remember. You know, so
but that one you were watching, your heart was vibrating in a certain.
It wasn't on. It was probably on YouTube. Wasn't on TV. So I don't remember watching any Arsenal match. You understand? I don't remember watching any match. So yes. So but it's just my karate class suffering. You understand? But hopefully, because I'm just one step away to getting black belt. So after the CFA program, now continue as I can get my black belt. And
please, by all means, get the black belt. Very important. Thank you so much. I mean, somehow we seem to have questions still rolling. So please help me. So someone says, how relevant is the CFA courses and certificate to the finance profession outside the financial sector? We call it the CFA charter, actually, right? The CFA program and the CFA charter. How relevant is it for the finance professional outside the finance sector? I'm not really interested in the financial service industry. I'll allow you to take that question, and I'll allow you wade in as well. It's just, but I can say this for sure. After the CFA program, the 3 levels, we'll come check whether you are still not interested in the financial service industry. And we will check that. But allow them answer your questions about how relevant it is to a finance profession outside the financial sector.
Yes, the CFA program is very robust, right? And there's a lot of concepts, a lot of, for instance, now it covers ethics, it covers ESG, it covers so many things, so many issues, you know, there are topical issues that are bordering on. It's now talking about you know, about green energy, you know, stuff like that, you know, artificial intelligence, AI, machine learning, you know, all these things are not really finance, like, in the sense of finance, but they are relevant, and they are something, they are information that knowledge that you learn on the CFA program, which you can actually apply outside of finance. ESG is not finance. It can be applied in oil and gas, like anyway. So, and it's taught on the CFA program, and it's very, very extensive on the CFA program. ESG and ethics. It's in ethics.
Yeah.
You find it almost in all the aspects of the courses that we do on the CFA program. So you will definitely find it very valuable in any discipline you find yourself. And like you already said, having gone to do those 3 levels of CFA, I doubt it whether you say that you don't want to continue that path again. Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Okoyemi. So Ayodeji, you want to say something about this?
Okay, I feel Mr. Okoyemi have said more about what you can learn, but I feel that, I don't know, anybody that having started the CFA program, anybody I see that has the charter, it shows you have that diligence. So even if you get the CFA, you don't plan on using it, you just having it. I don't even know if you like go and be in medicine. Anybody that knows that know that this person, like, to sit down for those hours. So I feel there's still value, you probably fall in, you would want to do finance. If you are not doing finance, I don't think you want to stay for the 3 levels, because every level is another added distance. So it really has value. Apart from all the learnings, the certification itself shows determination, shows you can put in the work, shows you're a very disciplined person. I think that's what even makes the charter more, will I say more valuable, more, people want it more, that kind of thing.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ayodeji. And to be honest, I mean, there is alternative investments, right? Which is really broad. There are people who have worked in places where they had built treasury units from scratch. They have created entirely new departments because they knew revenue could be generated, right? And helped their organizations make money from other income. I mean, that's the essence, isn't it? You just want to see how you can create value for the organization you work for or you build for. Who tells you that all your revenue generation needs to come from the product and service that you offer? You get what I'm saying? You can, as a professional, get to invest other people's money, get to invest money in your business, and before you know it, you're making a lot of money for your organization, other income that you were not, that is not even mainstream, how you used to make money, right? Before. So there's tremendous value already.
I really agree with you, because the CFA program, the market that we learn in CFA program is far more advanced than what is currently going on in Nigeria. So that you do even the CFA, like mortgage-backed security, something that is happening abroad, but it's new to Nigeria. But like through the CFA program, you're able to bring all those products and, like you said, build, add value to your organization. So there's really value in the program. Thank
you. Tremendous value. Thank you so much. So Maureen, I hope we've been able to answer your question tonight. Please confirm that you're satisfied. Busayo, I see your hands raised, but give me a moment. Let me take this. Samsung says, any third-party material you would suggest? Okay, so we stay away from advocating third-party materials. And that's because at the end of the day, the CFA curriculum is the CFA curriculum. What we give our candidates in New Frontiers is our lecturers' notes, our faculty notes, alongside the CFA curriculum. And we do not do that because of the weight of whatever we say as New Frontiers is in our market. Endorsing a third party would be something that we will not be able to do on a platform like this, right? So because we could that way either influence the market. We stay away from influencing the market. We are very ethical people. We try not to manipulate the market in any way, so that people are not taking decisions because New Frontiers has inferred or has suggested this. So we just stick to the course of the curriculum and all that. But I remember somebody said something that could help you. Again, that's why you should subscribe to our YouTube channel, New Frontiers Learning Center on youtube.com. Agbola Abiodun had said, is a fixed income lecturer in New Frontiers. He has said that while he knows that candidates usually struggle about what material to use to prepare, But you know, the problem is that you could do that for 8 weeks, still thinking, am I sitting with this material, with this third-party material, or this curriculum is too bulky? What am I supposed to do, right? The truth is, he said, while you are still making up your mind about what to use, just make sure you start with the curriculum. Because you see, you don't want to wake up after 10 weeks and you have 6 weeks to go in your preparation and find out that, wow, time is gone and you are now struggling. Do you understand? So while you are still making up your mind, at least begin with the curriculum, right? So that you are not missing out on anything, right? Samsung, I hope you are satisfied with the question. All right. So yeah, Folawe already sent you a private message. All right then. So if you need any direct personal information, just refer to those to newfrontierslearning.com. You'll find our contact numbers there and you can reach out to us, WhatsApp or call. So hi, Busayo, can you please unmute yourself to take your question?
Hi, good evening, and so thank you. So I wanted to
Thank you,
ask,
Busayo.
so I'm an auditor, I'm an external auditor, and
Excellent.
I'm not even in the unit that like audits financial, services or institutions, but I'm looking to like switch career and even like switch units. So I've been talking to like go into the banking and capital market units, like in the audit aspect. So how does that like work from like in switching into, because I don't have working experience in that field, and it's not like as if I'm in a stage of like maybe I'm a graduate trainee that I'm trying to like switch career. I'm like an assistant manager. So how does that work from like into switching career into finances, and what corporations can I work in if I want to like eventually because start my CFA exam and go into finance majorly?
Excellent. So I would allow Okoyemi and IODG help you, but just before they do, I remember stating during this program that the CFA program is the only program where even when you are coming with a PhD from anything, even in finance, you have to start again from level 1. So that alone is advantageous for you. No exemptions. You will learn everything from scratch. You will learn what a supposed charter holder who has been working for 20 years, who has built asset management firms and has done all kinds of things. Your CEO, your CFO in the finance space probably already know, right? You would understand what they understand. And probably be able to add value even at levels that many of them will not be able to. So, right, I think with the CFA program has been designed in such a way that anybody can pivot at any time. That's what I really, really think. But then I will allow Okoyemi say something about it. Okoyemi is a CEO himself, so he will be able to give great insight into this. So hi, Mr. Okoyemi, please.
Okay, so I think if I hear what you said if I heard what you said very well, I think you were saying something about that he works as an external auditor in an audit firm, right?
Yeah,
I think so. So yes, I mean actually I'm a chartered accountant myself. So I think for an auditor, you already have you have an idea of a holistic idea of the business, the business, the industry and everything, the books and everything. So you already have knowledge that other people that probably don't have such experience would not have while doing the program. So as far as switching careers is concerned, that shouldn't be a problem, for somebody who's worked as an external auditor in a firm. For instance, now you work in financial advisory, you could be a consultant in a consulting division of a multinational firm, because as an auditor, your business, your job description touches virtually, it depends on the kind of business you audit anyway, but it touches the entire aspect of the business. So for you to now say you want to go to advisory or consulting, or even, for instance, securities trading like I do, fixed income and things like that, over time, you would discover that naturally you might have a passion for some of these disciplines, even corporate finance, mergers and acquisition, deal structuring and all the likes. Those are the areas that I feel that you might consider and you might find very attractive. Investment banking is actually part of it.
Oh, Ayo, you're muted. I can't hear you. I don't know.
Yeah,
Forgive me. All right. I was calling you, Ayodele. So go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'm not sure where you want to like switch into, but I feel that the CFA will give you what you need, because I've probably wanted to do risk management previously. But when I started the CFA, that's when I decided to do, when I like wanted to do the exam, that's when I decided to move into investment. So I moved into the investment department January, and I wrote my CFA November. So like everything that, so the advantage is that like it's starting from scratch. Like you don't, that's why there are no prerequisites or anything. It's assuming that you don't know anything. So everything from investment to corporate finance, everything is addressed there. So it's really like the CFA will give you that push to be able to move. So I don't think you should be scared. And you even have like an accounting background. So it's you get what you need.
Okay. So Moreni, that's the question we've been responding to. So what we are saying is the CFA program is robust. Whatever you are looking for, you will find the CFA program. And okay, no. That was Busayo. Thank you, Busayo. So, but Moreni says, how relevant? Oh yes, we said it. We said it's relevant to you as long as you are practicing finance, whether it's not in the financial service industry or not. It's the same way we talk about tech. And I was saying tech is not tech standalone. Tech provides value when they infuse with finance, when they infuse with agriculture, when they infuse with entertainment, when they infuse with various industries, they produce tremendous value. You get what I'm saying? So when you say tech-driven cars, self-driven cars, electronic vehicles, those things is tech that had entered an automobile industry. It's not, you are not driving tech. I don't even understand what I'm saying. Exactly. So you found an integration with other industries. So that's how it drives this thing. Okay. Thank you very much, Ayodele and Okwemi, for the tremendous value tonight. I look forward to interacting with you at further programs at different levels entirely, not this level, of course. I mean, I'm confident that we'll be speaking with you very, very soon on another level. Thank you for sharing of your time, your experience. Thank you for not saying, oh, it's just level 1 I've written. What do I know? No, there's nothing like that. Even at level 1, there's tremendous value, right? And at level 2, there's exceptional value. And of course, very soon you'll be charter holders and we'll be interacting with you on another level entirely, by God's grace. Thank you so much for tonight. We're proud of your achievements thus far. You make us proud, and that's the reason why we can reach out to you. And we're excited that you could respond to us even after we call. Thank you so much once again. And to our audience, you have been pretty much engaging. Thank you so much for joining. And for everyone who will be seeing this video on youtube.com at New Frontiers Learning Center, we look forward to receiving you at school. Classes start on July 1st for level 1 and 2. July 1st, 2023. Come with all your heart. Come to give your all. Come with everything you have got. Don't leave a portion of yourself at home and you're coming, right? Come and make up your mind to give your all. Don't try give your best. You don't know what your best is. Trust me. You don't even know. You can't mark your script and say you have given your best. No. Just make sure when you are done, there's nothing more to give, right? And then the exam, the writers of the exam will have been excited at the kind of person that you have become. Thank you once again for joining us tonight. We look forward to interacting with you in class. Have a wonderful night rest and God bless you. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Thank you, Eddie. Good night. Thank you, Pam. Good night.
Our founders went through their CFA journey with little or no support of any kind. However, they vowed to turn into reality the dream of every CFA candidate earning the CFA charter, irrespective of their backgrounds, finance and non-finance alike. It is this commitment to support our candidates that influences our engagement of a world-class faculty, partnerships, scholarship and discount offers, our online learning management system, and so much more. Our clients' outstanding results results across all levels of the exams every year attest to the quality of our top-notch physical and online program in the last 10 years. That's right, we have been impacting the industry for 10 years and have supported about 2,500 professionals in that time space. Register with New Frontiers Learning today.